playing undercover. I should have known you'd fit the part. I should have known you were a star. float in the van, me and the band, doing the best we can, dead broke, no joke. The needle's on E and the engine's puffing smoke. Limp into town on the fumes, chaos resumes in a dingy hotel room. The show starts at 8, but we might be late trying to find the venue. Thought tonight was just another show, another small town in the middle of nowhere. But I'll never forget that place, the very first time I saw your face. I'm in love with a girl named Amy. She's my Disney princess, yeah, she drives me crazy. We stay up all night, then we sleep all day. She's the one that never got away. Thinking about you non-stop, right round the clock, head spinning like a top. All night, all day, you're everything I need in every single way. Felt like the blink of an eye, 4th of July underneath the bright blue sky. And I just couldn't wait to sit around the lake and learn all about you. On the beach alone and in the dark, look in your eyes and they're trying to tell me you've been waiting all night for this. The moonlit sky and our first kiss. I'm in love with a girl named Amy. She's my Disney princess, yeah, she drives me crazy. We stay up all night, then we sleep all day. She's the one that never got away. I'm in love with a girl named Amy. She's my Disney princess, yeah, she drives me crazy. We stay up all night, then we sleep all day. She's the one that never got away.
Sziasztok, üdvözlök mindenkit ismét itt sok szeretettel, Anubis vagyok, jó reggelt és jó hétvégét is kívánok nektek. És ahogy láthattátok a premiere videóban is ott írtam, illetve már az eseményt is reggel létrehoztam, nem a God of War-ra fogunk játszani, hanem Star Trek kell. Elfelejtettem pontosan nevét, de így is itt van címbe. A játék az jelenleg csak Epic van. Szóval, a játék csak Epic Gamesben érhető jelenleg, és most akciós is, itt a videó alatt megtaláljátok, le van írva, azt hiszem 28 euró, kicsit akciós, 36 euró helyett. Elég pozitív értékelést kapott eddig, 4,4 csillag, és mivel én szeretem a science fiction, meg a Star Trek-et, így úgy voltam el, hogy ezt mindenképp meg kéne nézni, így be is húztam. Nem ilyen szoktam játékokat venni, megmondom nektek máshol, csak Steamben. Epic is csak az miatt van, hogy az ingyenes játékokat be tudjam húzni. Szóval több mint 90%-ban én mindent Steambe veszek. Nem tudom, hogy ti hogy vagytok ezzel bele, de én jobban szeretem, ha egy helyen van minden, mint van, nem tudom én, 3-4 oldalon húzom be a játékokat. Lehet, hogy valahol olcsóbb, de inkább jobban szeretem azt, ha egy helyen van minden. Persze most ezt az miatt vettem csak meg, szerintem ez a másik játék, amit Epicen megvettem, mivel ez sajnos nem elérhető Steamben. Ugye ilyen is van, hogy valahol elérhető, valahol nem. Meg lehet, hogy nem is lesz elérhető, szóval úgy voltam el, hogy ezt meg kéne nézni mindenképpen. Ez miatt megvettem, de ez van egy jó kis sztori, mindjárt mondom nektek. Vizával fizettem, de kb. 5-ször próbálkoztam, mindent jól megadtam, fiúk, lányok, és mégse fogadták el az Epic Games. Azt mondta, hogy jelenteni fogja a banknak. Mi van? Mi a bajod? Hát minden jól megadtam. Halló? Fogad már el, meg akar menni a játékot. És kb. 10 perc után kaptam értesítőt, hogy engedélyezi a tranzakciót? Persze, bazd meg. De mondom, legalább 5-ször próbálkoztam. Szóval elég nehezen jött össze. És a játék az különben nem támogatja a magyar nyelvet, de a gépi magyarositások oldalán van hozzá magyarosítás, így mi is úgy fogunk vele játszani. A magyarositás az, amikor megjelent a játék után pár nappal később meg is jelent, és semmilyen frissítés, update nincs ahhoz. Úgy, ahogy egy verzió érhető el, az a verzió. Szóval mi is azzal játszunk. A játék az különben ilyen lövöldözős, akciós játék, mondjuk úgy. Meg szerintem vágjunk is bele. Minek várjunk? Na nézzük. Csak előtte megnézzük a beállításokat, meg hangokat, meg minden mást, ami elméletileg jó. Zene... Igen, 2K fényessége, majd megnézzük. Angol... Jó. A legérzékenységet meg majd hamarosan úgyis kiderül, hogy jó-e vagy sem. És akkor vágjunk is bele. Kezdik? Kezdik. Ó. Aha.
Log, stardate 57931.4. Crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good.
Adok majd el hangot, amint vége a kezdet. Szinte én sem hallok semmit.
Our new first officer is en route to the Resurgence.
Oh! Hoppá! Egész jó így a grafika, legalábbis az inkább videó, de akkor is. Hú, bazd meg!
You don't like flying, and yet you joined Starfleet.
Jó hang! Csak a videó volt hang. Ó, pozitív! Aha. Itt viszont most halt meg. Ezt majd megnézzük, hogy milyen lesz. Kezdetek! Újjáéledés. Na most jó hang! Aha, jó. Ez tök jó, hogy akkor szó szerint mi alakítjuk a sztorit, fiúk, lányok. A döntéseink alapján változik. Azaz, ha ti más döntötök, teljesen más lesz a kifejlet. Ez tetszik. És akkor leszek én. Egész jó grafikája. Jelentkezem be a biztonsági szó. Arra nézzetek. Ó, hello! VSD. Aha, de nem kell a VSD, mert az egér lehet mozogni. Futni lehet? Nem. Használt kölcsön.
Starbase on the very edge of Federation space. A long way from home now.
Nekem beszéd az... Ó, vezérik az nem tudom mi akar lenni. Zászlós. Talán zászlós hálás volt ilyen... Humorérzékért, amikor ideges volt. Aha, jó. Én a hangra adok egy kis kakaót, fiúk, lányok. Nem a zenét akartam, hozzá. A beszélgetésnél én semmit nem hallok. Nehogy akarok kilépni, hallok. Most mi van? Ja! Önéletrajz. Star Trek. Hamarosan jön 3 hét múlva egy újabb Star Trek játék. Az ilyen stratégiai játék lesz. Eléggé Crusader Kings hangulata lesz, az remélem mindenképp fog jönni magyarositás. Még ha csak gépi magyarositás is lesz, mint ez, mert hát ott ahhoz kell érteni, és csak angolt fog tartalmazni a játék. Steamben elérhető lesz, és 35 lesz az alapjáték. Megnézem közben a hangokat, hogy minden oké-e. Várjatok egy picit. Mert játszunk nagyba, aztán... Jó, vannak hangok. A játéknak is az a lényeg. Nehogy itt játszunk, aztán nincs hang. Megjöttünk.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history.
Legyünk pozitívak.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Észrevette, hogy mi leszünk a parancsnokok. Hám kis petty.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
Nem mondjuk úgy, hogy jól raktam.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on...
Legyünk humorosak!
The pleasure's mine, Ensign...
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Star Trek? Na várjátok, keresem meg. Jó, mindjárt megkeresem, de a beszél nekem még mindig halk. A A többi hang az azt mondom, hogy jó, de ez... Mentés, hogy valami nincs különben? Kocsis. Nem, bocsánat. Egész jó a grafikája.
Good day, Commander.
Bocs, ezt be kell lőni. Ne legyen halk, de hangos se. Nagyon hangosan köszönt. Itt a hajóm. Ez még nem is a hajó, ez a bázis. Semmilyen útmutató.
I remember my briefing. Commander Ermont is a bully, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Keresünk valakit, aki kék a bőre. Jó, én már látom.
Resolute 2?
Yeah, not the ship I was hoping for.
Why's that?
Well, you haven't heard? Some kind of accident. Their warp core overloaded.
Oh, whoa. That's a big deal.
They spent 6 months fixing it up.
Was it the captain's fault?
That's the rumor, yeah.
Ez tök jó, ha ott vagyunk a közelükben, sokkal hangosabbak beszélnek. Oké, akkor még egy kicsit nagyobb kellene a... Akkor letesszük ide. A grafika az nekem tetszik mindenképpen.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Kicsit furcsa, hogy néha halk, néha meg hangos. Jó, neki kék a bőre, és más kék bőröt nem látok már nézni.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander?
Köszönöm.
I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us.
Ezek a videók, ezek halkak. Jaj, bocsánat.
To our local research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavour.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky.
Jók ezek a párbeszédek.
USS Resolute.
Az a szahajó?
She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half venting plasma fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunctioned. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many. And to that I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill. Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly first, until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board.
És itt lehet... Okay.
I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready.
Ezek a videók halkak, a párbeszédek, de különben meg... Ha nem videóban van a beszéd, akkor az meg hangos. Vagy lehet, hogy most nagyon lejjebb húztam. Várjatok, egy kicsit följebb veszük.
Still so much to do.
Hoppá!
Stuck.
Inkább beállgat.
I got just the thing.
Hál' Istennek, ki, hogy mi az? Plazma. Mit keressek meg? Plazma vágó volt? Akkor ez az, igaz? Hogy kéne csinálni? De elméletileg semmit nem kell nyomni. Oh. Aha, benne kell tartanunk. Ha jól láttam. Aha, itt kell benne tartanunk. Jó, én azt hittem, így körbe-körbe kell mozgatni. Ja, bocsánat. Jó, egyen úgy néz ki, hogy igazából ilyen videók alapján megy a játék, és a döntéseink befolyásolják a dolgokat, és néha így bele tudunk szólni. Legalábbis egyre én úgy nézem. Nekem tetszik. Kikecseljük. Gondoltam. Dugod be!
That... is that.
Hát nem billentyűhöz mondta, de az én kitaláltam. Nagyon sok fedélzet. Teleport! Ja de, D és az egér, az csak egy plusz volt. Oké.
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Millie.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering.
Jó, a hang az most jó. Ha másokkal is vagyunk, kövessen elnököt. Na jó. Na ezt tett. Aha, lehet futni. Jó, de hát nincs akció. Ja, de mindenképp ő is fut. Vagy eddig futott? Ez már hajó? Ez már hajó. Lézerágyukkal tűz, proton torpedók! Itt vagyok, mehetünk. Hú, gyerekek.
Engineering.
I heard the new EXO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
Hogy főhangosodott?
We can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Salar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edzelar on repeated occasions.
Vulkániak értik a viccet.
That is one interpretation. Another would be that I would replace you if I could. You can interpret as you see fit.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz.
Igen.
Flattery is not
Értik a
necessary.
viccet.
All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system.
Nagyon kell hozzá a magyar, ha valaki tényleg nem tud angolul. Azt hiszem csak az angolt, meg még valamilyen nyelvet támogat. Folyamatosan nekünk kell dönteni. Nem, ahogy látjátok, nem túl jó a magyarositás, de hát gépi magyarositás, de lehet érteni. És szerintem ez ilyen játék lesz, hogy igazából az egész egy videó, és mi döntünk... basszus.
It all comes down to us, Nilly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? That's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Okay.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go.
Köszi. Ó, eltek aktívak.
On the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Mit aktiválok? Emém jön a bolg is. Mi vagyunk a bolg. Asszimiláljuk magukat. Pillanat. De nem látok önben olyat a játékban, hogy mentés. Szóval gondolom a játék az alapból ment. Még egy kicsit adok a hangokra, fiúk, lányok. Néha halkak, néha meg pont jók. Jó. Jézusom, hova mentél? Vagy hova megyünk?
Let's go.
Na jó van, menjetek a... Eddig Star Trekből csak a Star Trek Online-nal játszottam ezzel 3 éve. Ez iszonyú jól néz ki. Bár igazából az egész egy ilyen film, ahogy látjátok. De szerintem tök jó.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleons. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized.
Több szálon futnak az események, hogy látjátok.
And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Érdekes, hogy most végeztünk az akadémián, de már mi leszünk a kapitányok. Gondolom kapitány leszek. Igen. Jó, az...
I can't believe he keeps this around. Don't even know where mine is. We'll be out there soon. Going where no one has gone before. He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Nem tudom, hogy ez most milyen korba játszódik. Úgy értem, hogy lehet, hogy találkozunk Jean-Luc Picardral is esetleg. De itt nincs semmi. Mi volt ez?
Just a sip of something.
Mi az a karakterni egy teát?
Decisions. Tea.
Na.
That's lovely.
Hát ez elég egy korty volt.
Chara Ryder. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The regret is
Akkor ő a kapitány, én meg esetleg a... Én leszek a kettes? Ó, basszus. Ha, első tiszt. Akkor nem néztem a szöveget, bocs.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
Dehogy nem, beszéltünk.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident.
Álljatok. Itt kicsit játszani kell folyamatosan hangokkal.
Really, we were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology.
Néha hangos, néha hal.
The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career?
Na most jó.
Right there.
Jelenleg.
In our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You're being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances. In my defense, I will say I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
But are we prepared to embark on the mission?
As much as I'd like to think that's true, I have my doubts. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come. Let me introduce
Most kezdtem, de már hajót akarnak adni. Jövök! Szerintem a játék az ment alapból, mert én sehol nem látok semmi olyat, hogy látjátok, mentés. Ja, a két személlyel leszünk Kiárával, meg a kocsis, az meg a srác, ugye? Ó, igen, vezető vagyok. Jövök. Hú, de jól néz ki, még sose voltam csillaghajón. Ó. Oké, majd az első tisztviselő a kapitány.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer.
Az új első tisztet.
Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Az egyik csak.
What he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our chief science officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some
Szerintem ő is
time.
most jött, nem? Tök fiatal.
And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
Ez nagyon kedves. Enyém a megtiszteltetés.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
You really do know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you, but it's important to chart your own path.
Thanks. You can count on it.
Most kicsit hangosabb lett.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont.
Igen.
Please do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make
Ó,
our...
nem indíthatom a hajót.
The bridge is yours.
Eltettem, kapitány! Pajzsokat fel! Disztruktorokat tölteni! Proton torpedóval tűz! Itt még nem vagyunk. Szóval ennyi a híd. Jó, gondolom beszélgetni kell mindenkivel. Vagy nem mindenkivel. Ó, itt a... Ó. Milyen jól néz már ki. Ó, bele lehet beszélgetni.
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
Okay.
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
Hát nekem egy hadjárat jobb lenne. És akkor gondolom ő is.
Tactical station. Hopefully a diplomatic mission won't require we use our weapons much. But if it comes to that, we'll be ready. So many decks. Full of crew that are now my responsibility.
Ja, miénk is. Átkocogok a túloldalra. A kommunikáció.
Communications keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
Ja, akkor még mindig van valaki, vagy valami. Való.
Turbolift could take me anywhere on the ship, but I'm right where I need to be.
Oh, most jött be.
Operations, staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Kell nem beszéltem már mindenkivel. Akkor most foglaljak helyet? Vagy nem, velem még nem beszéltem, igaz? Várjátok. Hát nem is akarja beadni. Leülhetek?
Tactical hollow dais. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
So...
The first officer's seat. My seat. Right now, though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano.
Aha, igen, engem nevezett ki. Akkor ide.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm.
Igen, már kim vagyunk.
We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Az jó? És akkor most váltottunk, bele vagyunk.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Jó, mert a kábel, mert már egy jó hely megköztem. Jézusom, de furcsán néz ki. Menjünk.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
I am one. But so are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak.
Ajánlom mindenkinek, aki szereti a Science Fiction-t, meg a Star Trek-et. Nem játszottam, mondom, csak a Star Trek online-on játszottam egy picit. De ez basszó. De és... Igazából egy videó, ahol mi döntünk. Néha meg vannak különböző dolgok. Na mindjárt kér, hogy keresd meg a fasz se tudja mit. Most mi kell? Hát csak ezt lehetett elővenni.
Getting recalibration.
Most jönnek a gondok! Mit csinálja? Jézus Krisztus!
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
Ne! Megvan? Hát mondjuk úgy, hogy benne volt.
That wasn't so hard.
Nekem olyan is ez nem tetszik. És nem is tetszik.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive.
Ő is ott volt az egyetemen, tanított?
Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a form.
Úgy, mint az Enterprise, ezt nem tudjuk, hogy nem csak az volt.
I'm curious though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
Mi az a gyűrű?
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
In my entire career, it's never been an issue, or caused the slightest problem. And I don't expect this to be any different.
I was just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew, and he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
Hey, we just met. You might like me after you get to know me.
They say familiarity breeds contempt, but who knows? Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
Jön a vihar.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Tracing its trajectory. The starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red alert.
Aye.
Versenyoztás. Akció!
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave.
Isten.
You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed. It's going to be tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command. Now.
That was too early.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed.
Mikor kell elkezdeni?
Good. Send the pulse on my command.
Nem láttam semmit, csak hogy jön. Jó!
Now.
We got it.
Yeah!
This is it.
All hands, brace for impact.
Isten! Jó, azért tetszik, hogy bármikor újra lehet próbálni, elbasszuk. Isten, mondtam már. Ez milyen hosszú lett ez a játék? Még mindig csak itt vagyunk egy óra után. Jó, most már láttam, hogy abban a zöld részbe kell lennie a jó. Sikerült. Mert kíváncsi lennék, mi lenne a második, a pajzsot választottam volna.
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Yeah. Gondolom az egyel kell kezdeni. A D.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Most? Ó, bazd meg. Hát én nem vagyok még kiképezve, hát még a csillagflottánál nem jártam az akadémián.
Here's to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Hogy van? Célzás? Igen! Lézer!
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but you know.
Most tényleg az utat. Ó, bazd meg. Igen! Lézereket hűz! Igen! Állj neki! Ez mi? Hú, bassza! Mia!
Are you alright?
Yeah.
Hey, nem úgy csinálj semmi. Gondolom ez miért volt?
Energy dampening is down to 60%.
Lehet futni? Na, na.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Don't hurt!
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Jás, jönnek a gondok. És most mit csinálják? Mit kell csinálni? Sárga, kék, fehér?
The EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, choke on.
Az egyik tartókkal volt? Na ne bassz! Hú, bazd meg!
Diaz to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp.
Kezdődik az izgalom!
All vibrations too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working?
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us. Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We have
safest way
people
to...
on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Chara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
We're going to blow the bolts. Starbase, stand by. We'll warn our crew to take cover.
Get it done, Rydek.
A planétát is megfordítjuk, akkor...
Repair crew, this is acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, you
Akkor
have
nekik
more micro
annyi.
debris incoming. Find cover.
Cover? Neely, get under the access panel. It's armored with duranium.
But what about you?
Futi?
Carter, maybe we can both fit behind this.
Leszedjük.
They've blown the other docking clamp. Hurry!
Köszi! Aha!
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Megúzták. Szalad meg, de nem meg! De nehéz ott tartani! Ne tudjátok meg! Hát közösen! Sikerülni fog. Hogy lehet ezt után B-vel nyomni? Azt mondjátok meg nekem. Isten! Nem. Gyere vissza. Megvagy, tartalak.
I got you.
Ez fájni fog a fejed.
I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There's an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edsolar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Go in there now.
Akkor van nyelvet. Ja, csak ez nem olyan könnyű, bazzeg.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Fönn vagyok, minden oké. Visszatértem.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
You better be right behind me.
Jó, ő is jön. Bazd meg. Meghalt.
We're in.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Az mi volt piros?
Carter.
I'm okay. I'm okay. But that's
Vagy csak megsérült.
Here, let me help you.
Mondd, hogy jó van. Ó, gyerekek.
Medical. We've got one wounded at my location. Millie.
Oh man.
We'll see you at sickbay.
És még el se indultunk. Hú, adja ezt áteket.
Status report.
Igen, kapitány.
Crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermont?
The Resolute suffered damage from the exploding bolts, but we've successfully moored to the station. The ship is secure. Our systems are coming back online, but we have a fair amount of repairs before we're ready to go.
Put a halt on the roll-off of Starbase engineering staff. We have a schedule to keep. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Szerintem jó döntést hoztam. Azért kedvel bennünket, de azért ugye kapitány.
What a debacle. I was caught with my pants down. Not even on my own ship when the wave hit. I had to go running out of the Starbase commander's office just to... But you followed my order. I appreciate that. Hell, I'm relieved.
You're the captain of this ship. You give orders, and I'll execute them.
That's right. But you see my problem, don't you?
Ja, akkor az... Aha.
They were all against me on that bridge. They were ready to go against my orders. I'm not blind to it.
I don't speak for anyone else, but you know I'm in your corner. You're my captain, and I'll stand behind you.
It takes more than the two of us to run this ship, unfortunately.
Jöhet a whisky.
Drink?
Nem, kösz. Jaj!
Sure.
Azt akartam mondani, hogy nem! Mindegy. Az első nap után nem állt.
Thank you.
Your predecessor, Commander Sutherland, is missed. But for all the adoration of the crew, including the senior staff, I just couldn't rely on him. He would question, undermine me in front of the crew.
Gyerekek, szerintem ez egy kurva hosszú játék. Majdnem 90 percen játszunk, és még el se indultunk.
And you can't argue with a ghost.
Captain, perhaps you and the crew would be better served if you look at this mission as a fresh start.
You can never really leave the past behind.
Ez igaz, de...
If we don't, you can never move forward.
Now, this won't be easy, but I'm glad I have you here with me.
Jeez.
Glad to be here, Captain.
And despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart.
Oh, igen!
We'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Ha már kértünk, akkor ígyjuk meg. Vagy ígyunk bele.
Ready or not? Here we go.
Hát igen. Ott a hajónk! Egy magas hajót kérek. Nem vagy túl közkedved. Ahogy néztek.
We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Olyan szindikátus. Azok a zöldek, igaz? Akik rabszolgakereskedők. Hú, de megnéztem én Star Trek-et. A filmeken kívül, meg a sorozat, ami most volt a Picard. Idén volt vége.
Sit everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
És elindulunk. Nem tudom, hogy hol ment a játék, fiúk, lányok.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Ó, igen.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Igen! Maximális sebességgel!
Engage.
Ez a jegyzés, az gondolom az, hogy indulás. Hipertér! Mit szoktak mondani?
Simple, but effective.
Köszönöm. Csücs. Hoppá!
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really.
Ez még a viszki lehet?
You don't look fine.
De jó vagyok itt, de... Vagy... Nem vagyok jó? A gyűrű az mi a tököm? Deuridium monitor, az mi a fasz?
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Man, help me get her inside.
Mi a faszom? Mi az a gyűrű? Sose láttam. De láttam. Valamelyik sorozatban volt. Azt hiszem Pikárban. Valaki úgy emberfalaiba tartozott, és valamit mutat az a gyűrű, csak már nem tudom mit.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Mi? Meghaltam volna?
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on her, but she'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself.
Mi van?
Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer.
Hello?
To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before.
You're rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. A major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. I have to admit, I was concerned when I heard what happened on the bridge. We just followed Solano's orders despite having...
Szóval akkor ez tényleg úgy van, hogy a játék ilyen kis videó, igazából néha ugye be tudunk szólni, sőt mindig beleszólunk, ugye? A zöld kis kép az, hogy helyeselnek, a fehér, amit most kaptunk először, az az, hogy ilyen semlegesek, a piros meg, hogy negatív hatással gondolnak ránk, vagy nem is tudom, hogy mondjam. És ugye vele vagyunk, az első tisztel, illetve a kocsissal a sráccal, vagy igazából nem kocsis, nem tudom miért kell lenni a kocsis. Légidesszantos. Nekem tetszik, viszont ez, hogy ennek a fajnak ez a deutérium, fogalmam sincs, és lecsökkent a vérében is, ez miatt lett rosszul. Ez kicsit érdekes volt. És akkor az a gyű azt mutatja, hogy hogy állunk.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay. I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you.
Biztos?
I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first, but then I realized it was your condition.
Azért nem hiszem, hogy ennyire értetek.
I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm gonna be just fine. This is part of who I am, but I've never let it define me.
I get that now. And I promise I'll try not to let being such a jerk define me either. You trusted my intuition earlier.
Ő is semleges most.
I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Ez érdekes. Ó, azt nem mondjátok... Ó, megyünk szállni? Ó, de jó lehet.
Complete the diagnostic sequence and this shuttle will be cleared for service.
Yes, sir.
Storm in the Hotari region will interfere.
Na, álljatok egy picit. Azt nézem, hogy nincs olyan játékban, hogy mentés. Főmenüben van, beállni, beszélni, ezek a vezérlők, módok, és napakodás, beállni. Nincs. Gondolom, ha kilépünk a játékba, arra ment a játék. Tartok egy kis szünetet, fiúk, lányok, mindjárt jövök is folytatjuk. Na, már itt is vagyok, fiúk, lányok, folytatódjon a kaland. Na nézzük. Grafikában tényleg iszonyú jó a játék, meg ez is tetszik, hogy igazából csak így tényleg egy ilyen videó, párbeszéd, tényleg kell hozzá a magyar, talán csak angolul, meg még valami nyelven van, németül nincs. Az egész jól lehet érteni, és néha így ugye a mi döntéseink határozzák meg a sztorit.
Did
the doc get her fixed up?
She's stable. But there's something about the storm's radiation that's making it hard to heal the energy burns.
That doesn't sound good.
She's toughing it out. Dr. Duval said she'll be back on duty soon, though.
Come on. I have to run the final diagnostic.
Mondd, hogy felszállunk.
I can't stay long. I've got a long to-do list before we get to Hotari, and things are piling on faster than I can check them off. We're making all our last-minute checks and security, too. Tactical and security are short-staffed.
Well, nothing's ever 100%, but we'll be good to go.
And if you wait until you are ready, it's probably too late. Which is why I didn't want to wait for just the right time. I had a chance to think about this while I was away. Then you and Nilly almost got killed out on the hall. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse.
Kedvelsz engem? Azt hagyjuk.
Miranda, is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Maybe even better than fine. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Ó, én is így érzek. Én is így érzek.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
Igen, igen.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
We don't have to put too much pressure on it. Let's just see where this goes.
I like that. Definitely felt some pressure coming down to see you.
These are uncharted territories.
I'd call it a chemistry experiment. You know, with us.
Hagyjuk.
I'm just really glad that you said something.
I've seen how you operate. I couldn't wait for you to make the first move. I'm glad too.
So whatever happens next is great with me.
Level 1 diagnostic complete.
I have to get back to that to-do list. They're probably looking for me.
Can't blame them.
Különben vajon ki a Csajci?
I'll be seeing you.
Este vagy csinál?
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Jó olyan
Ionic
jöttünk ki.
interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding. We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Mi just kicsit? Újjuhi! Megvan? Ez érdekes volt.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
Won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Gondolom, hogy ez nem traktor, de mindegy.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Diaz. First thing,
Teleport.
lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Ez a vonósugár. Az ott nem jó.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Mi a fasz? Hú, bazd meg! Nem! Mész innen? Megvan!
Diaz the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle.
Torpedót neki! Proton tűz!
Our shields take it?
I believe so.
Oda megyünk?
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
Elfogó! Az hogy kell csinálni? Elfogjuk az asztalidát.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing.
Nem tudom mit csinál, de működik.
200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Got it.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Az biztos. Húzzuk már be! Nekem kell behúzni. Jó volt fiúk! De a vonosúrán hogy működik itt is? Bent magá nem zsír, mi ez? Raktérbe.
Got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock.
Igen, Spock! Tudtam én. Jó, vulkánok több száz évig élnek, vagy ezer évig? Lehet az másfél.
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Akkor vulkáni diplomata.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter? Carter Diaz, sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
All in a day's work, Ambassador. This is what I'm here for.
Quite dutifully.
Köszönöm.
We were prepared for our arrival in Otari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Provokáció. Megbeszélés. Itt vannak a tisztek és a nagykövet.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Lydians have shared a mining operation there. The Lydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Lydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
How is it the Hotari were able to turn the tables and take the mines against superior forces, especially after decades in this arrangement?
Unclear. The answer to that question may be the key to a new, lasting peace, and one that I hope we can uncover during these negotiations. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Lydian fleet if this escalates to open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective after all.
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Lydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Lydians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
We could use that as leverage with the Lydians. They'll want the Federation to continue buying from them.
There might be something to that, Commander.
Putting that on the table could make the Hotari more hostile.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Lydian
De Spock velünk ért egyet.
Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
Én már most elfáradtam.
What worries me
Ennyit olvasni.
is this whole thing unravels
De jó.
and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Lydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past.
Csak nem támadnak meg minket, nem?
They have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
The field isn't level. We have the backing of the entire Federation. Either of these forces would be foolish to attack us.
That's probably what the Lydians thought too.
We are here because we are up to the task at hand.
All the more reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly while we can. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage, should the situation escalate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
De amit ők bányásznak, azt kell nekünk, nem? Hogy ne legyünk
Ambassador
rosszul.
Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly knows how to say the right things. At least when she wants to. It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included, you are instrumental.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of
Ugye, két órája jó olvasni. Tetszik. Ilyen típusú játékkal szerintem még nem is játszottam. De ennyit olvasni. Kezd megfájdulni a szemem. Kiléptünk a szemem hipertérből.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
The Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
I'll take notes.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
One nice thing about Vulcans. Chobok is the only person who didn't look at this and treat me like I was something to pity. Doc says I should get used to it. Doesn't mean I want to be reminded of it every minute of the day.
I'm sorry I went first.
Now that sounds like self-pity, and I'm even less interested in that.
Nilly. Okay.
De különben ő mondta, hogy én
Let's
menjek
just crack
először,
the
nem?
shuttle open and see what we're dealing with.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Gondolom oda kell kattintani, de én most kilépnék a főmenübe, mert nem látok olyan játékban, hogy mentés. De nem a játékból akar kérni, és hát a játékból akar kilépni, csak... Na várjatok! Most azt fél, hogy kilép is a játék. Most nem ér, most... Itt ugye azt írja a játék, hogy főmenü. Most a menübe lépek ki, vagy a játékból, meg azt írja, hogy kilép is a játékból. Vagy úgy érti, hogy kilépsz a játékból, hogy kilépsz a játékból. Így jó. Aha. Ment alapból a játék. Jó, szuper. Itt is van, látjátok? Dehogy tőlem, hülye vagy? Jó, hát fiúk, lányok. Most így jelenleg abba adjuk, mert már kezd fájni a fejem ennyi olvasástól. Mert néha értelmezni is a dolgokat. Fejemet mondtam, szemem, mindegy. Nekem nagyon bejön a kis game. Ilyen típusú játékkal szerintem én nem is játszottam, meg Startek. De eset remélem tetszett nektek is. További szép napot. Jó hétvégét. Hamarosan találkozunk. Este premier videó lesz. És meglepett, hogy még bírja a live, hogy működik. Lekopogom. Lassan 2 órája. Ne ugye, ezt mondtam nektek sokszor, hogy vagy működik, vagy nem. Na minden esetre, köszi még egyszer, hogy itt voltatok. További szép napot, jó hétvégét. Ha tetszett nektek a videó, nyomjatok rá egy lájkot, ha még nem tettétek, meg iratkozzatok fel, ez is támogatok engem. Köszönöm mindenkinek a figyelmet, hamarosan találkozunk, addig is. Sziasztok! És valószínű folytatni fogom ezt a játékot.